friend, the Crypt Keeper. These two Fright fans found me at a garage sale. And they've offered me tomb and board if I serve as the master of ceremonies for their review of a couple of moldy oldies based on my old Fright Mag of all things. I'm gonna grab some grub and maybe a few maggots and welcome you to the Mindbreakers Season 10 premiere! It has been 3 non-stop weeks of terrible puns since I found that guy.
I just found out it's been 10 years.
Not 10 years, 10 seasons.
Seasons, whatever.
No, the season's a year. Shit.
Yeah,
okay,
it should
fuck.
be about a year. Either way, damn, that
yeah.
dude is annoying.
Yeah. This is, welcome back, Season 10. After the hiatus, it should be August, and here we are.
Let's go.
We have a double feature for you today, as is tradition.
Oh, is that what you meant by 2 movies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got, we're starting with Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, which one? Demon Knight or Bordello of Blood? Just Tales from the Crypt from 1972.
Ooh.
This is the Amicus anthology film.
Okay.
It has a 6.8 out of 10.
Pretty high for Mindbreakers.
And 5 strangers get lost in a crypt, and after meeting the mysterious Crypt Keeper,
Hate when that happens.
receive visions of how they will die.
Sick.
Director Freddie Francis. Writers Milton Subotsky, Al Feldstein, and Johnny Craig.
Sticker was coming up, so
Okay.
push it back down.
And it stars Joanne Collins, Ralph Richardson, and Peter Cushing.
Oh, wow.
You know Peter Cushing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I recognize the first name, too.
Anyway, let's watch this.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm really excited to watch this one. I think it's going to be a good time.
And you'll see what the other one we have for you is after this.
Yeah, as we usually do.
From the Crypt. Welcome to the Crypt. You are invited on a guided tour of a world of darkness, where nightmares become reality. Secrets, if you dare. Teacher, how to? Death lives in Tales from the Crypt. Who's next? Perhaps you?
Alright, so I conked the Crypt Keeper on the head and I locked him in the closet. We should be free of him for at least the rest of the review.
Is that what that noise was? I was going to the bathroom.
Yeah, had to duct tape his mouth shut, because otherwise, well...
Yeah, we'd still hear him from here.
But we did watch the movie.
We did.
It was not the first Amicus we've seen on this show.
No.
They did Asylum, that one. They do a lot, they have a lot of anthology. Like every movie they have is an anthology film.
Okay, yeah.
But this one opens with Toccata and Fugue in D minor, because of course it does.
Yeah.
If you don't know off the top of your head which one is Toccata Fugue, it's the Dracula song.
Yeah, it's the Dracula
Despite the music being in Dracula is Swan Lake, but let's not...
Yeah, I never understand how that happened.
It makes more sense than the other Universal Pictures horror film that opens with Swan Lake.
What's the other one?
The Mummy.
Yeah. It sure does, doesn't it?
Na, 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 na,
Fucking forgot the Mummy opens with that. Goddamn.
So, a bunch of people are taking a tour of some crypts that something about Henry VIII.
As you do.
And they find a room where there's a big skull, and then they meet the crypt keeper.
Because they get lost from the group, despite the tour guide telling them to not stray too far from the group.
But they do.
They do. Because she drops her brooch?
Yeah.
Some shit? Nah.
And they sit down, and it's like, sit. And it's like, okay. And then he tells some stories. This is a shockingly low energy crypt keeper.
It's just a dude in a robe.
Like I'm not expecting like the puppet from the because like that wasn't the crypt keeper back in the 50s.
Yeah.
But they like the crypt keeper and the vault keeper and the old witch back in the comics. They were like laughing, joking, making puns and shit. Like this is
just kind of here.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna show you all things, and they went, no, you won't.
I'm gonna show you how you're gonna die because we're doing Final Destination apparently.
And they went, no, you won't, and they did.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him.
Couldn't stop him. Can't stop him.
And right away, this framing device is unnecessary.
Yeah, I understand.
Like, have the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
But have him have more fucking energy than this.
Just have him tell the story.
But, like, here's a little one I call, like he does in the show.
Yeah. Like,
here's a little one I call... Eas'll kill ya.
Yeah, literally anything other than we're going to tell you how you die.
Yeah, that's like...
It's like, I get it, but then you reach the end, and it's like, we didn't need this.
Our first one is And All Through the House.
Yeah.
Christmas one, obviously.
Yep.
It's from The Vault of Horror number 35. This is also adapted in the show. I'm sure most of these are. At certain points.
Okay.
Though I've only seen up to season 4, and this is the only one that's in both.
Okay.
This is the first, the woman, the only one woman in it.
His name was, did we ever get their names?
Joanne.
Okay.
It's Christmas, and her husband's there.
They're having a fucking gay all the time, dancing around the Christmas music.
With a funny hat.
Funny hat.
Kills him with a fire poker.
He's just reading the paper, the fuck?
Like, at least the show kind of... Like, the show adds another layer to this. Where he's the stepdad to the little girl. And he is abusive.
Yeah, this one is just cool.
He's just... She, like... It's kind of hinted at. I mean, I'm kind of reading into it because I've read the comic fairly recently too. That it's she has a lover and she's gonna go off with this lover after she kills him and takes all the money.
I see.
So kills him with a poker. She does this in the worst possible room of the house because she does it in the sitting room with a white carpet
and chairs.
Yeah, it's all white.
Furniture and anything.
Don't kill him in this room. You'll never clean it up.
I'm right next to the Christmas tree.
Yeah,
come on.
And then her daughter's like, "Oh, but the Santa's coming."
Oh, mummy, Santa's coming.
That's the weirdest part of this one for me. I have never ever heard a British person call him Santa Claus. It's Father Christmas.
Father Christmas.
It is Father Christmas in the UK. Like.
Tells her kid to fucking shut up and like that.
But more nicely than that.
Yeah.
And then this has like constant Christmas music. At least it's not like that Mariah Carey shit. It's actual.
Also, like, at least it's not the same song.
Like, it keeps changing, but you eventually tune it out because
it's Christmas music.
Like, this review is coming out in August. I don't want to be thinking about fucking Christmas right now. Never been a huge fan.
I love Christmas, but...
I got tired of it.
Yeah, I get it.
She hears a news report about there's a maniac broke out and he's killed people and he stole a Santa suit.
Bald. It was important.
I think they're burying the lead when wearing a Santa suit is the most important part of it.
I was gonna say he's bald and then lead when he's wearing a
It's
Santa
like if
suit.
describe Jason by Jason Voorhees as a Caucasian male, 250 pounds, 6'6", bald, with a hockey mask.
And a giant fucking outfit that's baggy and fucking dirty and that's what I'm looking out for. The pattern baldness.
Yeah, look, he's wearing a hat. How can you tell? Anyway, and very quickly he shows up at the house.
Not even like 10 seconds pass by before the camera cuts outside. He's just there.
I will say though, I do prefer this version of this to the 90s version of this.
Do we get the Santa Claus in the 90s version? Or?
Yeah, that's the story.
Okay.
The story is the exact same.
Yeah.
But she's about to just like hide the body, and then she hears us. So oh shit! And locks all the door.
Yeah.
Locks up the door and pulls the curtains in front of the door. Because I guess if he manages to get through all the locks, some fucking fabric will stop him.
If you can't see, it could be more like if you can't see inside.
Yeah, true.
You can't see where she is exactly, but yeah, even then, fucking all right.
So he tries to get in. She sees him out the window, and he's like, hey. So she's gonna like, oh shit, I'm gonna call the cops. I'm like, no, I can't. I have just murdered my husband.
Killed the guy. Oops.
All right, I'm gonna make it look like he fell down the stairs.
Yep.
So she manages,
Takes him right down.
and then she's gonna call the police. But oh no, her daughter let Santa in, let the murderer in because she thinks it's Santa, and presumably he kills her.
We never actually see them die.
No.
But like, yeah, he's probably getting the deed done.
Yeah.
And then we cut back.
You
to
don't
her.
in any of the versions.
Oh, okay.
Well, in the original story or in the 90s, it ends with the killer going and with the dog. But the story, the comic, explains that the killer has killed men and he's killed women. He has never. He doesn't. He don't hurt kids.
Why would you kill a kid? Unless they're bad. You might kill a kid.
Well, that's where you got Krampus for you.
Oh, true. Can't step on other people's territory. That's right.
He hired Krampus specifically to do that.
Yeah. That's the first story. Nice, short,
Yeah.
not that long.
Famous story of the famous Tales on the Crypt story.
Probably one of the better ones in this.
In this one, it's probably my second favorite.
Yeah.
Then you get Reflections of Death.
Yeah, that was the next one. Fuck.
This is from Tales from the Crypt number 23.
Yeah.
This is a very short one, because a man is cheating on his wife with his secretary.
Oh, is that what she was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he and her drive off to, like, they go off together, and then there's they have a car accident, and then he climbs out, and from this point on, it's all first person, which is a mistake in my opinion.
She's gonna...
Well, no, the whole thing should have been in first person.
Yeah.
Because if it's only in first person
know.
now you know.
Yeah.
What the twist is.
Yeah.
All right, like immediately. And he gets out of the crash, and
goes back to his house.
he doesn't find. He goes.
Well, he finds a guy.
He finds a guy. He's like, "Hey, can you give?" He finds a homeless person. The homeless person's like, "Oh my god!" And then he tries to like hitch a ride home, and the person's like, "Hey, whoa, get out of the road! You're trying to get yourself killed." Oh my god! And drives off, and then he goes home.
To Wilson.
Which no, it's his wife, but she's remarried.
Yeah, I mean this is the one name instead of the whole thing.
And she screams, and then he sees a different man in his house. And then he goes to Susan's apartment, and all the stuff's there, and she's blind now. And it's revealed that he died in the car crash 2 years ago, and he's a decayed zombie corpse now. They could have done more with this effect.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, we do just see it briefly in the reflection.
of the table, yeah.
And we know that this movie can do zombie effects really well.
Yeah, because we're literally about to see a good one.
But...
Yeah.
I don't know,
I think it's too quick.
Because yes, it's just a split second on the comic too,
Yeah.
but it's a panel in a comic book, and you can look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing that Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and Haunt of Fear were famous for, and why they got the Comics Code created, was Johnny Craig and Al Feldsey and all these people drew horrifying, gruesome shit, and they were so good at it, and it was some beautiful fucking shit. Like, this is what inspired Tom Savini. This is what inspired Stephen King. Like, Creepshow has this. Like, the Father's Day one.
Yeah.
It knows what to do. This one, okay, it was 1972. Fair enough.
The next one's better.
True, but like...
I don't know. I think...
It's around the same time as Abominable Dr. Phibes.
Yeah.
Holy shit, if they had gotten Vincent Price as the Crypt Keeper, this would have been so much better.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Or Peter Lorre.
Yeah. The story... In the movie...
And then, and he sees and he screams, and he's in the car, and then they crash, because it was all a dream, but is it a dream? Who knows? And then he's
standing, looking at the Crypt Keeper, like, what?
So, yeah, I don't know, I'm not writing this, it's how you die.
No, hate the message, not the messenger, you know? Fucking...
Is this whole movie just the Goosebumps say cheese and die, but without a camera? I always remember the covers to those Goosebumps, the Say Cheese and Die was always cooler.
Yeah.
Because it was like your typical family photos, but they're all skeletons, and it's funny.
Ryan Gosling's in that.
Is it?
It's one of his first roles.
So after that we get Poetic Justice. From The Haunt of Fear, number 12. This is the best story in the movie, in the piece for me. This is my favorite.
This one had, like, the good impact of the... Like, I think it had the highest impact of, like, oh, okay.
This one also has Peter Cushing.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Moff Tarkin, like, a well-known villain actor. He has played Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And he's well-known for playing Van Helsing, who is... Van Helsing's a hero.
Yeah.
Obviously. But he's, like... There's a difference between hero and, like, what this character is.
Yeah.
And someone could argue that Victor Frank... I'd argue that Victor Frankenstein... He plays Victor Frankenstein in the Hammer film.
Yeah.
Victor Frankenstein's the villain.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way... He's the bad guy.
Yeah.
But he plays a dustman called Grimsdyke.
Yep.
He has a bunch of dogs. The kids love him. He entertains... He fixes toys for them.
He makes toys for them and gives them out.
He's just
a guy who lost his wife and is just living until he dies.
The local garbage man, but some rich people hate his house and they want him out. They want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So, but they offered to buy it and he doesn't want to sell. He's like, I'm gonna...
Like he said, I lost my wife, I built my life here, I want to die in this house. He probably doesn't have that much time left.
It's basically Up. This is basically Up.
Yeah. I die in my own home.
It's a much sadder Up.
Yeah.
And think about that.
Think about that.
So a young Boy Scout comes to ring his doorbell, and then they fly away in the house with balloons.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
So first, the son of the rich guy, this is the person who's the point of view character of the story.
Mm-hmm.
James Elliott is his name. And he's like, all right, I think I have an idea how we can get him to leave. So first he goes and he destroys the Grimsdyke's neighbor's flowers, then blames it on the dogs. So they take all the dogs away. And fuck, you feel bad for Peter Cushing here.
It's done nothing wrong.
He's just a nice old man.
He's just a guy, like, fuck. And it's not like the dogs were, like, loud or, like, abrasive or anything. They're just chilling. They're his friends.
Yeah.
When they take him away, he's like, but they're my friends. You can't take them away. It's like, well, they don't have collars. Like, yeah, I can't afford it. Oh, we'll take that up. That's not our problem. It's like, what the fuck? One does come back, though. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
One
Nice,
does
a
come
cute
back
little beagle.
because he wasn't there when they took him away. And then, so they take away the dogs, and he's like, well, I have another idea to get him.
Get him fired.
Get him fired. Stop his retirement pay. And when they go see the guy, he's like, but he was a good worker. He did his time.
He only has like a year left.
Yeah, like, someone's got retirement. Like, leave him alone. No.
Fine.
Alright. But you know what? Still doesn't even put him down.
Yeah, because the beagle comes
back and he goes, oh, we have to save money, and he turns off the light.
Also, he's communicating with his
he's
dead wife
talking
with
his dead
the
wife.
Ouija board and a planchette. That's and it says the danger. And his first thought is like, oh shit, which is one of the kids in trouble?
Yeah.
Like,
you cannot make me like this guy more. Like, you fuck me. And
he doesn't even think that it's him who's in danger. He's like, oh shit, I gotta help. I must save the children.
So then, rich white boy is like, okay, well that didn't work.
Let's tell everyone that his house is filthy.
And tell all the parents that children don't go near him.
Yeah. And like the kids are all like, but no, he's
nice.
And the parents are like, shut up, I'm the parent, I outrank you.
His house is probably 50. And
No,
God
no,
knows what
it's-
he's touching up.
it's great.
Is that a good house? Fuck.
Have a look inside.
Yeah, literally no one ever goes to actually check on the bullshit, but I mean, that's probably what the story's trying to tell you. They just took the guy's word for it.
And then
It's still not kicking him down.
no, he has the puppy.
Yeah, he's doing okay. But then Valentine's Day is in
And then
2
they
weeks.
send him a whole bunch, and then, it's all fucking
Yeah.
James Elliott. Sends him just a pile of Valentine's Day cards that insult him. I can't remember all of the poems, but
One just tells him to fucking drown.
yeah.
He doesn't.
Some
finish
live in
it.
the country, some live in the town.
You should jump in the river.
You should do us all a favor, jump in the river and drown.
Yeah. He doesn't finish it because he physically can't believe what he's reading.
Well, it doesn't fit because it's like some live in the country, some live
Yeah.
and ... and then it's one you complete yourself.
Yeah.
And then he hangs himself because
Yeah.
they notice that like
They haven't seen him in a week.
haven't seen him in like 2 weeks.
And yeah, the dog keeps barking, and they're like, why is the dog still barking? He's been at this for like almost a week now.
And I can't say kudos to James, but he wasn't expecting it to go that far. He does he feels bad, but it's like, oh, well, now you feel bad. You didn't feel bad when you were trying to ruin this guy's life, huh?
Yeah.
Asshole.
And one of the first things they remark on when they enter the house is
It's like,
oh,
it's
sweet.
spotlessly clean. I thought. Then everyone attends his funeral, which pisses me off.
There's a part of
You
it
don't
that's-
get to mistreat someone
Yeah.
when they're alive and then mourn at their funeral.
Also, they couldn't bring the kids over. Like, fucking, they were tucked away in a corner.
Yeah.
Jackasses. And at least, at the very least, the dad pays for the funeral.
Yeah.
He
Least
says,
you
well,
can
he was
do.
my neighbor. Like, I gotta do something. And then you can just kind of see him look at his kid like, fucking, really?
You're a murderer now, son.
And, again, to like, even the actor's credit, you can see how much that shit fucked them up. Which, like, yeah.
I mean, you could have just not.
You could have. All because you thought the house was a little ugly? Like,
Well, yeah, because so they can bulldoze and
yeah,
build
I know,
it.
I get it.
Like,
Still, fuck
just like
you.
it's up.
Yeah.
It's a much darker up. And then it's a year later on Valentine's Day.
He burns the letters that he had in his drawer, and then we.
Well, it was because he sees the letters, and then now the dad's like, hold on.
Yeah.
Why do you have... Oh, well, I said... You what?
It's got a hand. It's got a little hand, like...
Yeah, it's got a weird hand ashtray. I'm assuming it's an ashtray?
It's either
or
an
a
ashtray
paperweight.
or it's like a...
Paperweight.
Yeah, paperweight.
Even though technically paperweight just means random junk you keep on your desk. I could just take one of my Ghost Rider statues and be like, paperweight.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, I'm convinced paperweights only exist so there can be a convenient blunt force trauma weapon in a murder mystery.
Pretty much, yeah. Or someone just wants to get rid of their shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a paperweight. That's clever, because it keeps the paper down.
Yeah, because it's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. I'll take it. Can't believe that worked. Do this with other shit?
And then we see Grimsby's grave, and then a hand comes out of it. Now, there's something you need to remember, you need to realize about zombies in the EC horror comics. They're not Romero's. Romero zombies didn't exist until 68.
Mm-hmm.
Old school, and they're not. Some are voodoo zombies, some are voodoo, but usually the risen corpses are actually the good guys.
Yeah.
Because either they're avenging their own death, or they're coming back to save a loved one from being from death.
Which is so cool.
Like fucking old school EC horror comic zombies they're fucking badass.
Hell yeah.
They're also always so beautifully disgusting.
Of course.
And decay. It's that's what.
So good.
But
so good.
Peter Cushing rises. He rises from his grave. And this is the effect that makes the movie.
Yeah.
Like if you've looked up this movie, this is what you've seen. Is that the face with the eye? Oh.
It's I was surprised to see it move too.
Yeah.
Like I thought it would just be like a prosthetic.
Yeah,
that was it. But
like the eyes are a prosthetic, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But the
seeing like that
just make it
move, yeah, it's fucking incredible. We also had a good reveal on this one too, because the guy comes in the next day
and sees his son dead, and a Valentine written in blood, and obviously it's red paint blood. This is the 70s. That's Happy Valentine's Day. You were mean and cruel right from the start. Now you really have no. And his heart's been ripped out.
Very good effect. I like.
Now this one of the stories, like you think, like this can't happen now. This story, if this is how you're going to die, because clearly, if you tell this guy this, like, hold on, you're telling me if I fuck with Grimsby, he comes back as a zombie and rips my heart out? I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna leave him alone. I don't like him, but still, like, no, that's a kind of a lot.
Yeah. I don't like the guy. It's not like I want him dead. Like, I can't be dead.
Then there's Wish You Were Here. This is from Haunt of Fear number 22. This is basically just the monkey's paw.
Oh, yeah.
He's facing financial ruin because he took money that was not his and used it, and now he
needs to pay back.
He's going to go bankrupt. And they have a Chinese figure in their house because
they bought it while they were in China.
Because it's suggested that like they sell a bunch of their valuable stuff so they can like make back the money so they don't go bankrupt. And it sees the thing. It's like, oh, they said it grants wishes. It's like, oh, like I wish for more money. I wish we had a lot of money. No, this reminds you a lot of a story I read called The Monkey's Paw. I'm like, fair enough. They're doing The Monkey's Paw. And then you know exactly what's...
too late. I already made the wish.
Then they get a call and someone died.
Their husband.
He dies.
Yeah, because he gets a call because he needs him to come into the office.
And then he gets killed by a...
accident.
Why was he being chased by a skull-faced biker? Okay.
I think that's just the monkey paw shit.
Okay. So that's just the Grim...
We could presume that since he owes money to someone, maybe that's why...
Maybe. I don't know, it was weird.
It's not going to matter in about 2 minutes.
And then she finds out that she's getting the money and he's dead. Because her lawyer comes over.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, wait, I wish he was back. And it's like, oh, I wish for him to come back. It's like, no, if you mention the monkey's paw, read the goddamn story.
Luckily, the detective did. And the lawyer did.
And then she's like, I wish he was back like he was before he had the accident. And then some undertakers bring in his
real
corpse.
Monkey paw shit happens.
And it's like, oh, yeah, technically he had a heart attack before he was killed. It's like, this monkey paw is being intentionally obtuse.
Yeah, like fucking, like they come in. He's like, no, don't open the casket. He was probably mauled by the accident. Mauled.
Accident?
No. He had a heart attack before the accident. He died of the heart attack. Enjoy. And
Then,
sure
like,
enough,
I wish he would never die.
I wish he was back and could never die, live forever.
And then, but he was embalmed.
That quickly? Like, I feel like the accident just happened. There's no way they got it done that quick.
Monkey paw. And then so he can't die. He's just in burning agony forever because he's been embalmed.
If you don't know, that shit is to fucking cleanse your fucking blood.
But then she gets hacked into pieces for some reason.
I need to lay in the blanket.
Yeah, she grabs a katana off the wall.
Because of course. And now this dude's screaming in agony because he can't fucking die. Her cutting him up is gonna do nothing.
And
that's how it ends.
And that's the story. And
the guy's just like, what?
that wasn't very good. Shut up. Remember this story. This story ruins the entire film.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to. And then we have Blind Alleys, which is another good one.
The longest one.
Very long one. Because a guy, Major William Rogers, he has a dog. He becomes a new superintendent of the Home for the Blind. But he starts cutting all the costs and treating them badly. Bad food, not enough blankets, no heat at night.
Not enough food either.
So they're cold.
Yeah.
Well, he has this luxuriously appointed office, and he eats really well. His dog gets treated better than the blind people because the dog has 3 blankets.
Yeah.
No spare blankets in the cupboard.
No, because he needs to cut down.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. It's your typical dude has too much power.
Yeah.
Kind of guy.
Well, because the thing is, he doesn't have experience with this. He's a military colonel.
And as the main blind man whose name
Rogers, I think.
Yeah, he keeps telling him.
No, not Rogers. Rogers is Carter.
Carter, yeah. That we're not soldiers.
Yeah, we're not in the army.
And you're like, oh, shush you, we don't know what you're talking about. It's like, but we're cold. We need more blankets. No, you don't.
We feel things things more sharply, which I think is a myth.
Mm.
They just pay attention. I think I heard they don't. It doesn't heighten other sensors. Just pay attention more than you.
Yeah,
than you would
in
normally.
A sense.
You don't get. You don't become Daredevil.
But yeah, it's not like Daredevil shit. You don't use this one, so your brain.
So you have to roll, and it's less the brain makes them. It's more like you have to pay attention more.
Your body's gonna go, oh shit, I can't see, so I need to be able to hear.
Then one of the patients dies from hypothermia.
Yeah.
So they
fuck this guy.
They lure the dog out and lock him in a room with bacon because and we have a shot that really makes me fucking hate this guy. Is the dog has a choke chain?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck you, sir. And clearly, just getting obedience that way doesn't work because this dog is not loyal. This dog is not disciplined.
No, he's like most dogs.
Because it follows a trail of bacon.
He sees bacon and he wants it.
He's like, oh, bacon.
And lock him in a room.
And
get the guy.
And then they get him down, lock him in a room, and then they, for way too long, build something.
Crazy action.
Crazy. The fun is catching it, but they build... making a long story short.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily a long story, long filler short. They make a labyrinth out of chicken wire and shit.
Yeah.
And he goes through, and then there's some razor blades, and then a door opens, and there's a dog.
His dog.
And the dog wants to eat him.
He's hungry.
Because the dog's hungry. Which also proves that just choking your dog when it's bad doesn't make your dog like you.
No.
Because even a really hungry dog, if you're the dog's mad, the dog's not going to consider you as food. After 2 days.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Clearly, this dog never respected you. It was just afraid of you.
Oh yeah, also the guy who gave him the job, the person who runs the building, I guess, heard the dog barking, so he's like, well, something must be wrong. And when he gets there, they just take care of him.
This bonk, they don't even
throw him in a room.
They don't even hurt him. They're just like, okay, we just block him, put him in the room,
Get
close
in
him.
there.
They're not trying to kill him. It's not his.
Also, I gotta say, I know, like, they've been blind for a while, so they're good. But goddamn, they were good at building that contraption.
Like, just carrying lumber, and you don't need to show us the entire fucking...
No, I don't know how they were able to manage all the fucking razor blades.
Mm.
Shit's impressive.
And then the dog's coming, and then I guess we'll go back to the razor blades, and then the lights are turned off, and then he's dead.
Yeah.
And then the Crypt Keeper's like, yes, but thy lied. This isn't how you're going to die. This is how you already died.
Can't be.
Like, excuse me, Mr. Crypt Keeper, what about the one who can't die because of the monkey's paw?
Shut up!
Quiet you.
Quiet you.
And then, because they're all going to hell because they died without repentance or something, and...
Well, they also killed people.
True.
One of them unintentionally... Well, two of them technically unintentionally, but... You know.
Not really. The driver only killed himself.
Oh, yeah, she was blind.
And he didn't, intentionally kill himself. He accidentally killed himself.
But he cheated on his wife.
True.
That's a sin.
Other films by Amicus, by the way, you got From Beyond the Grave, Asylum, House of Blood, Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, Torture Garden.
It's a good name.
But yeah, what do you think of this one?
It was alright. I think I enjoyed the Creep Show stuff more, but...
Yeah, the horror host actually did shit.
Yeah, I think that's the only main reason why, is because, we had a fun dude leading the story.
And we now had the effects and the makeup artists to make some of Al Feldstein's drawings real.
I think, if I were, definitely if I saw this at the time it was made, I think it'd still be pretty good. It's still good. I enjoyed it. It's just... Some things went on way too long than they should have. Like the fucking construction scene. But it was alright. It was a good time. I liked it.
But we got another one for you.
Oh.
The next year, 1973, they adapted another EC comic.
No way.
The Vault of Horror.
Ooh.
Now, disappointingly, there is no Haunt of Fear.
Mm.
But Vault of Horror, an anthology of 5 horror stories shared by 5 men trapped in the basement of an office building.
Damn.
6.5 out of 10 does not appear like it has a Crypt Keeper.
Okay. Just 5 dudes?
Yeah, just 5. There's no branching thing, connecting tissue here. You don't really need it. But I'd personally rather know, because the biggest weakness with this movie was the fucking...
It's a Crypt Keeper.
Not necessarily the Crypt Keeper, but the framing
the
device
framing,
itself.
Yeah.
Because it's how they die, except no wait, it's how they're going to die, but no wait, it's how they did die. Which then completely invalidates itself because of that one monkey's paw story.
Exactly.
It's we don't need an overarching thing for...
Just tell the 5 stories, you're good.
What's the overarching story in Creep Show? Kids reading a comic book.
Yeah.
They're just in the comic book he was reading.
That's it.
Same with Creep Show, too. They're just in the comic he's reading.
Except in the second one where there were aliens, I think. They had a whole plot. The kid with the comic book.
The second... Oh, yeah, because the stories were from the comic.
Yeah. But
But then he had the Venus flytrap.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was.
Venus
flytrap.
flytraps.
How the fuck did I think were aliens?
Because they're giant?
Yeah, fair enough.
And I remember it had this, delightful scene where the bully kid gets torn in half and you see, pizza pocket cheese between the blood. And it's oh, that's delightful. I've never...
So good. This was an alright one.
But,
I like this one.
But now, it's time for the Vault of Horror.
I'm excited.
And the host of this one was the Vault Keeper.
No way.
Well, the comics.
Oh, okay.
There's no Vault Keeper in this.
Okay, then, well.
But, let's watch the Vault of Horror.
Let's do it.
Enter death's waiting room, if you dare. Below the crypt lies the Vault of Horror, a treasure chest of the macabre, madness, voodoo, vampires, torture, and terror. All the things that make life worth living.
That's how it is. And how it always will be.
The Vault of Horror.
So, does that mean like a necromancer would be a magician who has control over Japanese cat girls?
Okay, I wanted to ask if you fucked that up, because I was going to make a joke about the Neko part, but I'm glad that was what you were rolling with. And the answer is yes, probably.
Awesome.
You gotta understand, there was no build up to that. He just said that shit.
Alright, write this down. An anime called Necromancer. It would be ecchi, obviously.
Duh. I'm already checking to see if it's made.
Anyway, Vault of Horror 1973.
Good time.
Personally, I liked it more than...
Yeah, same.
Some of the stories were kind of weak. But it had a big fucking last one.
Yeah, I think, like, this was a case where it was, like the last one had a long one at the end. And
But it was...
Could have been cut out. Could have been cut down.
Tales from the Crypt, you mean?
Yeah, the one we watched before.
Yeah, Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah. This one, though.
Blind Alleys.
This one had, same thing. Long one at the end. Longer.
Yeah.
But, man, it was good.
And I distinctly remember that story from the books. But we have 5 businessmen who get in an elevator
Mm-hmm.
in an office block, and it goes down to the sub-basement, and it's just like this nice gentleman's club.
Yeah.
Much nicer. There are much nicer environs than the last movie's people in.
Yeah, they're not stuck in stone.
And there's no Crypt Keeper.
No Crypt Keeper. Which
I was disappointed at when I read about this until I found out just how meh the Crypt Keeper was in this movie. In that movie.
Yeah. No, they got like whiskey and shit.
Yeah, I think it's brandy or cognac.
Brandy, yeah.
But they have decanters that have like little statues of horses fucking, and
they had them falling in love and then fucking.
They got also a beautiful shot from above of them sitting around the table.
Honestly, like early '70s, that cameraman was popping off when he came up with that idea, or the director came up with that idea. Like,
and they start talking about dreams they had of how they die. And the first one from Tales from the Crypt number 35 is Midnight Mess.
Mm.
This is a weird one.
Yeah.
Because, the end image is fucking famous.
Mm.
Stephen King mentions this in the foreword of Salem's Lot. He mentions this fucking story.
Okay.
But the story leading up to... And, this isn't the comic's fault, because, granted, there are some things in the comic that, example, in Reflections of Death, the zombie face has more time to sit with you because of, the inherent differences medium-wise between film and a comic. But this is how the story really flows in the comic. In the comic, a lot of Tales from the Crypt stories aren't really good.
Mm.
They're just the shock ending, and this is very much one of the shock ending ones.
Yeah, I pretty much agree.
In this one, the man hires a private detective to find his sister Donna.
Yeah.
Then he murders the private detective.
Strangles him right in the whole
for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I guess in his head, what he does later, maybe they'll find a way to link him back to him, but then you just left a dead body in a hotel room, fucking. Then
he goes to the town where his sister is, And it's like, oh, it's getting dark soon. You should
Get inside.
get inside. They come out at night. And then he goes to a restaurant called Restaurant. There's no service because it's going to be dark soon. Then
He leaves.
he leaves. He finds his sister Donna. And it's like, hey, our father's dead and you inherit the money. That's why I'm going to kill you. And then he stabs her. It's really not paced any slower than I'm describing it either.
He literally walks into the room and goes, how do you keep a nice place like this? And she goes, what do you want?
Die!
Well, father died and you inherited all.
Now, as long as you live!
And it's not even a struggle. Just grabs it, dead.
And then he goes to the restaurant, but there are people in there now.
Because he sees people go in.
And so it's like, hey, so what's... And today's special is juice, soup, roast, sweet, and coffee. Perfect, I'll take that. That sounds great.
That coffee's on the list.
Well, yeah, coffee with your dessert.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Every time I've been in a restaurant after it's like, would you like coffee? It's like, yeah, but sure.
It me depends. If I'm like full and I just want to get home, I'd be like, I'm good.
It also depends on what their dessert menu is, because
Yeah.
there's nothing especially good. Like last time I went out to a restaurant with some friends, had fish and chips, by the way, it was great. But like, we're not going to get the coffee here. We're just going to go to Second Cup after.
Go to the place over there.
But like, do you have coffee options? Because otherwise, I'm just going to go get my cappuccino. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, he goes
have
to
a
the
nice almond
restaurant.
croissant.
He gets to the little. It's his.
It's the juice.
Yeah,
Thinks
juice.
it's tomato juice, but no.
My
then-
favorite part is like, what tomato juice? And the guy kind of looks at him like, and then he
What's
drinks
wrong
it.
with you?
Oh, it's good.
No, it tastes a little weird.
Oh yeah, but he still drinks it. Yeah.
And then they bring him soup, which is obviously blood.
Yeah. It's a little thick.
Like, it's weird, because this is the most realistic looking blood I have seen in a 70s movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Is this soup?
Yeah.
Then there's how would you like the clots? Well done, rare, medium, rare, medium, or well done?
I'm sorry. What?
My what? Oh, your roast blood clots. What? So you're not a vamp, and they pull the curtain, and he's the only one with the reflection.
Such a cool.
That's a beautiful shot.
I'm pretty sure I know how they did that back in the day, but still, gorgeous shot, brilliant, incredible, even so good.
Like, it's more impressive than the similar shot from Van Helsing, when it's Anna dancing with Dracula at the ball, and then you see like. It's because that's obvious how they did that in CGI.
Yeah.
This one you actually have to question a little.
Yeah.
But then they're all vampires, and then Donna's alive, and then...
And they all see his reflection, so they go, oh.
Food. And then Donna's there, she's alive, she's, well, alive. And they have some bunch of cheap vampire fangs. And they hang him up and put a drink spigot in his neck.
And every time they pour it out, he twitches a bit.
Yeah. And then that was that.
You're probably the shortest one?
Yeah.
No, I think the neat one is probably short.
No, this one...
They're about the same?
This one's shorter.
This one's
the
shorter,
shortest.
yeah.
Like...
Oh yeah, the neat thing had the weird...
A lot of the not so good Tales from the Crypt stories tend to be supernatural shit, oddly enough. Like vampires and werewolves and that kind of thing.
I mean, yeah, when you hear they come out at night, you're like, oh, okay.
Vampires. Cool.
And he's like, yeah, no, it's weird because that dream felt real. And they go, that's interesting. Reminds me of a dream that I had once.
And then we get The Neat Job from Shock Suspense Stories #1. By the way, Suspense Stories is one word.
So #1 is the only one?
What?
Did you say it was the only word?
No, Suspense Stories is one word.
Oh!
One word.
Okay. I heard one word, and I'm like, that's where the label
Shock
is
Suspense
#1.
Stories.
Yeah. Interesting.
This is the only one of all of these that isn't Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, Haunt of Fear.
Okay.
But a lot of Tales from the Crypt episodes are based on Shock Suspense Stories.
That's cool.
Like one really good one about the one where Kyle MacLachlan is handcuffed to a policeman, to a dead policeman, and he's just surviving through the desert.
That's right. Yeah.
So this is the neat job. basically, there's this rich guy.
Yep. Marries a woman.
Yeah, Eleanor.
From like a family.
His friend's daughter, which will never not be weird to me. Yet she looks to not be that young.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting, like I don't know, early to mid-20s.
Yeah.
Possibly late teens.
She looks
but
like
she looks like the same age.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like the kind of age difference it should. This looks like the age difference between my grandma and my grandpa.
Yeah.
Like not significant really.
She marries in. We learned at a later dinner that she married in because her father was out of money. And honestly, he's not that bad of a guy. He's just
he is very specific about how he likes his house organized.
Yeah. I mean, he's in a way for me, he's like a very stereotypical man, which is like things are the way they should be.
Yep.
And no one messes with that because then I won't know how to do the thing.
Like he's OCD.
Yeah,
he is
OCD, but like
it's very neat.
Except it's the whole house, not just like a room.
Yeah,
it's everything. And
but he's been living alone for like 50 years. Of course he's
and like the first thing that happens is she rearranges the furniture a bit because in her opinion it looks better. Like he can use more space, and he's like, yeah, but I grab a magazine from there, and then I sit in the chair.
And there's this whole system for the kitchen, so they know they're never out of stuff. And
still call bullshit that he didn't have spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, I saw 4 fucking cans of it.
Like you can argue 1 or 2 of them are ketchup, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, nah, you got spaghetti sauce somewhere in there, bud.
Well, even then, ketchup comes in bottles. You don't keep ketchup in cans. Like, unless you're a restaurant?
Exactly.
Even then, you got the big jugs.
You gotta fill up the big jug or whatever. You got it. That's fine. But you're a fucking weirdo. Fucking Heinz.
Like, but they're going like basically. She kind of like. In his defense, she kind of refuses to learn the neatness of the system.
Now look, I also get like, okay, yeah, he's, it's a bit too much with some of this stuff. I get it.
He's Felix Unger on crack.
Yeah. Like one of the first things that happen is he comes out of the shower and he says, "Good morning, darling. How are you?" And then puts on her underpants because that's where his underwear always was.
Yes.
And she's like, "What? But I put it on your side." So just figured. It's on your side. And he's like, no, but that's where my underpants go. And then that's when you learn the whole system of everything in the house. So then, being the God-caring wife she was going to be, put everything back as it was, learned everything she needed to, and you actually see the guy be happy. And you're like, maybe it'll work out.
But she's at home, and she doesn't put down a coaster to drink. And like
Looney Tunes shit happens
because every time she tries to fix something, she breaks 4 other things.
And when I say like Looney Tunes, I mean like she literally backed up and a lamp fell over.
Yes.
Like paintings fell off the wall.
She went to get a nail to put a pin, and then everything
fell
collapsed.
Off the wall. It's Looney Tunes shit.
Why did you need to polish it? You just see it. You quickly wipe it up.
Yeah.
Didn't need to be this whole thing, lady.
Yeah, I don't know why she needed like the rubbing alcohol.
You didn't need a floor polish. You didn't need the wood polish to wipe off the light condensation.
I don't think he's like that anal about that. Like as long as the table stayed there.
Well, now you essentially destroyed his house.
Oh yeah, it is a fucking mess when he comes back. He comes home early, by the way. Yeah. He comes home 5 minutes early. And she's holding a hammer because she's gonna go put a nail back in the wall to hang the photo, and he's like, "You ruined everything." Like, then he starts screaming, "Can't you do anything neatly? Can't you do anything neatly?" She fucking.
I think he says it a few too many times.
Once or twice, I get it.
Yeah.
He's on 7, and at this point, I kind of get it that she brought the fucking hammer to him.
She kills him with the hammer and then organizes his body into pieces in jars.
As the same woman does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes, "That was weird, huh?" That dream almost felt real for some reason.
I love how every single story is like, ain't that a weird one.
We get to our third man.
There's something missing from both of these. Both Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror, to make it really feel like the comic, have to have a prose story in the middle about a man who has killed another man, then brings his body out to the swamp to hide it. And then he puts the body in the swamp, and it sinks to the bottom, and he's like, haha, I've hid the body in the swamp. And then he slips, and he's like, oh no, I have fallen into the swamp. Like, I joke, but like 80% of the prose stories are that, at least in the early comics.
What will they learn? Stop going to a swamp.
Don't hide your bodies in swamps.
Same with quicksand.
That happens in quicksand too. Tar pits.
God damn, people learn.
Then we get This Trick Will Kill You. Where there's magicians. There's a magician in India doing a trick where he puts a boy in a basket, and then he stabs the basket, and then the blade is covered with blood. But the boy is fine. And they shoves a knife to the side of his face, and then some asshole in the audience comes out and is like, actually, this is how you did that trick.
Yeah, he takes the fake knife out with the blade that you chew to make it look like it went through. He shows the hidden door behind the basket. And normally, I will say this. It wouldn't have pissed me off if he was just a guy. But he starts with, well, as a magician, I can tell you how it's done. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So you're not a magician then, because unless your name is Penn Teller.
Even with this shit, like if you're like, there are professional skeptics in the bunkers.
Of course.
The thing is, they don't just go to magician shows and ruin it. Like, it's like, don't ruin street performer shows. You invite them as a challenge to yourself.
Exactly. I mean, that's why, like, if anyone who's seen Penn and Teller knows, that's why they have the show. To bring on people, do a cool trick, and they go, we figured it out, we wrote it down, is this how you did it? Yeah or no? Alright, cool guy. That's the show. Like, fucking, don't be a dickhead.
I'd like to see Doctor Strange on Penn and Teller.
They'll figure it out somehow. Teller knows. I think Teller's actually a magician in that world.
Well, no, he knows everything, he just can't say it.
Yeah.
Or is that Penn?
No, it's Teller, I'm pretty sure.
Well, then they have a challenge for Doctor Strange then. Beat Desert Bus.
Thank God that game makes fucking thousands for charity every year.
Yeah.
I'm so glad people as a fucking group decided to do that. God bless.
And then they find the woman who was at the show, presumably the magician's daughter or sister.
Or assistant, yeah.
She's charming a rope. Like, she's playing the flute and the rope coming out, and then she climbs up the rope.
And then the guy's looking at it, he goes, that's a neat trick.
I will give you 400,000 rupees for this trick. No, it's not for sale. But money, I can get, how about this price? Not for sale means not for sale.
Alright, well then, how did you do the trick? Well, the rope is magic. Well, tell me the rope. No.
So he talks to his wife about it, and they're like, we need to get this show so we can steal it for our act. Because they're assholes.
And he goes back and he goes, look, my wife really wants to see the trick because she wasn't here yesterday.
She's sick.
And she's sick. You mind, I'll pay you $200.
Oh, one more thing.
And one more thing.
My wife. She's sick.
Like, I'll pay you $200 just to go.
I can't joke. I can't make Columbo seem like an asshole even in jest.
But he's like, I'll give you 200 rupees just to do the trick in front of her. No strings attached. Just do it. She's
well,
like,
except for the rope, but that's...
Yeah. He's like, okay, because the wife just wants to see the trick.
She's like, whatever. All right. Then they kill her.
Yeah.
Then he does the rope trick.
Because he finds out that it's the flute that helps.
And then she climbs up, but she climbs into the ceiling and blood happens.
Yeah.
I guess she goes into hell?
Maybe. It's like it's like a Mario War point.
Yeah. And then the rope starts whipping him and then chokes him.
It's like a snake.
Yeah. And then the magician's doing his tricks again for the audience, and then we see the woman not dead.
Yeah, because in the background you can see the window where they were standing.
And he's hanging.
Guy hanging
from the rope.
And she's just playing the flute.
Yep.
Having a good time. And that's the end. Moral of the story, don't be a fucking dick to a magician.
Don't be a dick to anybody.
Don't be a dick to anybody, but specifically don't be a dick to a magician. They will find ways to ruin you.
Then we have Bargain of Death. This Trick Will Kill You, which is Tales from the Crypt number 33.
Ooh.
Then we have Bargain in Death, which was a very odd one.
This the casket one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from Tales from the Crypt number 28. A guy's like, I'm going to be buried alive so people think I'm dead so we can collect on the insurance money. But oh no, I'm going to plan to kill my partner so I can have all the money myself.
His partner has to dig him up in 24 hours.
Now, if you're the kind of who's doing this con, and you're planning to immediately murder your co-conspirator so you can have all the money, why does it not occur to you that your co-conspirator would probably be having the same fucking idea? But they don't have to do as much work. All they have to do is not to dig you up now. You idiot.
You'll never guess what his co-conspirator did.
But, when he's in the house, and he has actually some Vault of Horror in his house.
Yeah.
He has an issue of Vault of Horror. And a novelization of the last movie?
Yeah.
Because he's a horror writer.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no money in horror. Sure. Right.
We also got 2 medical students.
Yeah, they're there when the body's found. They're like, we need a body so we can do science.
Just in case it'd be easier if we had our own.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, and you can tell they're like, it's a darn shame we don't have a dead body. Then they find a dead body and they go,
Then they find Bud the Chud.
And we got an idea here. And then he's buried.
LeFou, I'm afraid I've been thinking.
I gotta say, he was buried very, very quickly. Because, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was part of the plan, so he doesn't like die in the coffin.
He had to have the tombstone ready.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Then they hire the gravedigger to dig him up.
The medical students.
The medical students to dig him up. While this is happening, as predicted, his partner is like, haha, I just don't have to dig him up, then the money's mine. Yes.
Doing it for money.
Oh, Tony J. The Necromancer Mortanius.
Yeah. And then the gravekeeper's digging it up. He goes, what do you want this body for anyway?
Or ghouls.
Alright.
Oh, by the way, ghouls in Tales from the Crypt, it does not mean zombies. It means people who eat corpses. As opposed to vampires who drink blood. There are often vampires who aren't supernatural in Tales from the Crypt too.
Interesting.
So they dig him up, and he's like, Alex! But he just screams, Alex! And then the gravekeeper, and everyone's like...
Because he pops out of the grave.
And we get the usual, two people turn to each other, ah!
But then when they run out, his co-conspirator...
crashes into a tree and dies.
Because 2 kids just jumped out.
Yeah.
And then they go back, and the grave digger is like...
he has a bloody crowbar.
Sorry about that.
About the head, and he has a bloody crowbar, and we see him, the guy with his head stoved in. And I find this hilarious, because how calm he is. I think, like, the full-on Romero zombie plague has been trying to start for a while in this town, but he's just...
He's just stopping it.
He's on top of it. It's like, like, all night for him is just whack-a-mole.
Yeah. At least they still get a dead body.
Sun goes... Like, to quote the guy in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Sun goes down, dead come up, hammer comes down.
This one's kind of short.
Yeah.
It's
fine. It
is alright.
Fortunately, then, we get the final and best story.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Drawn and quartered from Tales from the Crypt, number 26.
Ooh.
Starring Tom Baker, who's an artist in Haiti who's painting a painting.
Yeah.
And then some guy comes in and is like, oh yeah, I saw one, your paintings are really good. Really? I haven't heard anyone say that. Oh yeah, one sold in, like, in London for, like, $5,000 the other day. Like,
what?
$5,000. Like, yeah, like, this art crit, all these people, like, really? Because they told me my art was worthless and just give me, like, a few pounds for them.
No, your art's great, man.
Huh. I want voodoo.
What do you seek voodoo for? Revenge. Alright.
I love that the Hungan's like,
yeah. Goddamn.
fucking idiot.
Fucking white people, man.
Never works if you use it. I will correct him slightly because he says I want to buy voodoo. I'm like, you can't buy voodoo. Voodoo's the fucking the religious belief. You want to buy hoodoo or grigri.
Anyway, he has to dip his hand in boiling water. I assume it's boiling.
I assume it's like, but he doesn't even scream. And like, yeah, Tom Baker's tough, but his hand's fine. It's like, now don't I get a doll or something? You are artists. You are a painter. You do not need a doll.
Yeah.
I'm also, especially considering this is based on a 50s comic, impressed by how non-stereotypical.
I was gonna say.
I was worried at first because the white.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, does he have a bone? No, it's just face paint.
I was also expecting a bone.
It's just face paint, and it's probably just for. Let's face it, it's for the tourists.
Yeah. Also, like even like the actor himself was very calm, good, like delivery, like no fucking cartoony shit happening here. It was well done. Hell yeah, love to see it in the 70s.
Well, Dawn of the Dead, the best character in the movie is Ken Foree.
He draws a vase that he has.
Yeah.
He rips the paper up and he's like,
wait, why did my vase just explode?
He threw it in the trash. The fuck?
What if I throw this bread on the floor and erase a piece of it? Oh, then the rat will come and eat part of the bread.
I like the rat part.
Yeah.
Because it means that, like, there's a reason.
It doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
Something causes it, though.
Like, why did the vase break? Well, it could be numerous things. Something tipped it over.
I would personally, if with it, because apparently, what he's figuring out is he draws shit.
Yeah.
That shit and something happens to shit. That's how shit. He's stupid. He is really stupid. Because a smart person would, instead of like, I'm going to use this for revenge, like, I'm going to draw a pound.
Yeah.
I'm going to draw this picture of a pound. And then to this picture of a pound, I'm going to add a whole bunch more. There are other ways. You can just use it to
just not do bad, but also benefit you.
Because the thing with all, like, dark magic, for lack of a better word, it's like one of the clear rules is if you use this to hurt people, that's gonna come back on you even harder.
Karma's a fucking
like
pain in the ass.
If you use magic for evil, you're gonna bring evil onto yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's the point of The Craft, the movie The Craft. Is that.
Never seen it.
It's okay. It's fine.
Right.
But he goes back to England. He gets his old studio back.
Yeah.
And he goes to the three.
How do you bring a painting of himself with him?
I don't know. Why did he paint a painting of himself?
That I can get.
No, after he got the, because I'm sure it doesn't like retroactively affect every painting.
Yeah, that part. I don't know. I don't know why the fuck he was stupid enough to do that. I don't know why he was stupid enough to bring it with him, but whatever. We needed that movie. Yeah. I'm sure they needed things in the comic. He needed
to get his, even though he doesn't deserve to get his. I think he's perfectly justified.
Yeah, bunch of fucking art dickheads stole his work and profited.
So he's to an art sale, an art dealer, an art critic, and another one, Denham Elliott.
Yeah.
And so you intentionally fucked me over. Oh, get over it.
Yes, we made money off your work.
Too fucking bad.
Piss off.
I will get revenge on all three of you. So he paints paintings of them. One of them's the main one's Denham Elliott, by the way.
Yeah.
Who you may know as Marcus Brody from Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade. Got lost his own museum, huh?
Yeah.
So he paints the one of the art critic, then pops his eyes out so his wife throws acid in his face.
He's cheating on her. And I had a great line of, how long have you been seeing her? Oh, honey, just because I'm seeing her doesn't mean I don't love you.
Well, you'll never see anyone again.
I love the escalation of people just choosing violence.
How'd you like all the donuts in the world? More, please.
He gave it up after 15 minutes.
Then the art dealer
Yeah.
who's cutting paper.
Real jackass, too.
Yeah, and then he cuts his own hands off with a paper cutter.
Yeah, it's like one of the... I don't know if you guys...
Because Tom Baker, like, cuts the paper and, like, tears his hands off.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever had, like, those things in elementary school. You used to have, like, the big paper cutter. Not too big, but just big enough that you could still probably fucking cut your fingers off. It was like that, but, like, a guillotine.
I remember Dawson's automatic fucking stapler at the computer lab print shop?
Oh, yeah.
That thing was terrifying.
Yeah, I was always scared to use it.
I just carried my own stapler so I wouldn't have to use that.
It's just a stapler. Just a regular one.
Well, they never had one. They always only had the auto one there.
They cut
Like
off
when
the
you're
whole hand thing.
when you're printing your essay that you totally didn't finish in the computer. You write all of in the computer lab.
No, I stayed up till 4. I can never use a computer in the computer lab.
I remember once I felt like a fucking genius when I actually finished wrote my essay in the allotted time. Like, haha, I tricked the system. Wait, no,
No, the system.
I was supposed to do.
God damn it! The system tricked me. Hated you. Oh, fucking.
And he goes to Denham Elliott. And he shows him the painting, and Denham Elliott's like, "Hi, I have a gun." He's like, "Oh."
He said he was gonna wait a day.
Yeah.
Just do it in the paper.
Yeah.
So I guess he needed a point to prove.
And it's like, "You don't do it. I have a gun." And he's like, "It's a pen. Come on.
It's a red pen.
It's a red felt pen. What am I gonna do with this?" And he just draws a little dot on his forehead.
You just get a cool scene of the gun, him trying to.
He turns the gun on himself and blows his own brain out. And then he leaves his watch on the desk.
Well, he leaves his watch on his desk
So you have 2 minutes to live.
because he's suffocating.
Yeah.
You can't figure out why until he remembers.
Oh, right. I locked my
Yeah.
painting in the vault. So he races home, takes it out of the vault, and then realizes he doesn't have his watch that can link him to the murder. And then he leaves his painting on the easel under the...
Because he puts it there first.
Yeah.
And
He
then
leaves it on the
realizes he doesn't
easel.
have his watch.
Yeah, under the skylight. And then when he's trying to catch a taxi, and then someone painting a cigarette ad knocks a bottle of turpentine over the painting, and then he gets hit by a car, and then we see the painting's all deformed.
He's hit by a truck.
Yes, but we see the painting all deformed. But we never see his face because I don't think.
No, we see the wheel go over the body, and that's about it. But honestly, good because I like that you don't actually see it kind of thing.
You just see, but when you look at the painting, you get an idea of what it could look like.
It's fucking
Beautiful.
sick looking.
And then the elevator opens because they can't access the elevator from the ground. We're back at the club.
Yeah.
And then it opens on a graveyard. And it's like, oh, I guess we have to relive the worst thing we ever done for eternity. And then the movie's over. And the opening of this movie, musically, and the